It's us again. Welcome to this week's Weekend Watch, kindly sponsored by SBK. It's me, of course, and I'm joined by Andrew Mount and Daryl Carter as well. We had loads of winners last week. The other two, I'm sure, would never brag about it, but I will. Creative Force was a winner at 9-4 for me and Daryl. Daryl also gave John B, was really keen on that one. Glad that one won. Andrew gave us a few as well. Rathbone for Kevin Ryan won at 17-2. Baybridge was an 11-4 winner. And then we had Hijacked as well at 7-4. We also gave a big positive to Lady Bowthorpe, who ran a super race behind Palace Pier. Big price as well, 22-1. So that was the value in the race that me and Andrew gave a positive mention to. And Daryl shot us down, but he's since... his words in a nice way, and we're all still friends, which is the main thing. So glad that she ran a big race. But we're going to do GG.CO.UK countdown this week because there's loads of races to cover, and I don't want to take up 8 hours of your time. So Goodwood, should I say, Haydock, York, and the Curragh for Saturday. Couple of races from the Curragh Sunday. We don't have final declarations for them at the time of recording this pod, so we'll do what we can. And obviously the views may change of the guys closer to the time, but they'll put that on social media. I'm sure you all follow them on social media and GG, of course. We'll start with Goodwood. We've got the 140 there, Class 2. We've got the Dead 8 runners at the moment. Andrew, you can start if you like.
Yeah, tricky opener, this one. No strong opinion. I thought Prince Alex would go well, and this one's a worthy favourite, having run as though the race when needed when a close-up fourth at Salisbury on reappearance. Hyanna and Hockfeld might not like the ground as soft as this. The one I thought could go well at a bigger price is Just in Time for Alan King. He's dropped to a reasonable mark now. He's had 6 runs in handicaps when he's rated below 95, 5 wins in a second. Those wins came a few years ago, but recent signs are that he can bounce back to that. So Just in Time for me.
Yeah, we've got a couple of course and distance winners in there, and Just in Time is one of the few. Andrew? Daryl? Andrew again?
It's the other way around this week.
You can go again if you want.
No, I've not really got a strong opinion on this. I did agree with Andrew, thinking Just in Time was probably the one to be on. I thought Prince Alex at the top of the market was progressive last year, but is the quite obvious favourite. It's not really a race I want to get too involved in. I thought Just in Time was the most likely winner. Yeah. Pace is a bit of a question mark in this race. Maybe Luik St George might go forward. Hockfield is the other one to go forward. I think Hockfield has got a squeak, but like Andrew said, the ground is a bit of an unknown. I'm not too far from Goodwood, and it's been absolutely hammering down all week. So, expect it to get quite testing at Goodwood.
Yeah, we're probably a good podcast to give you weather forecasts around the country, because I'm up in Leeds, so I'm not overly far from Haydock. I think Andrew's somewhere in the middle and Daryl's down the bottom, so we can give you some update on the rain. And currently, I think it's raining everywhere. On the same horse then in that first, the 140, the 210, small field, this for a listed contest, probably a bit of a disappointing turnout really, but Al Zarakan heads the betting currently, but I think that you two like other horses in this first, other than the favourites. Daryl?
Yes, Al Zarakan, the rightful market leader, the progressive horse in the field, looked very, very good in his 3 starts, or his last 3 starts. Forgive him that run at Newmarket last time. We highlighted a couple of weeks ago that he doesn't like Newmarket, and it was never going to suit him, that track. But he does have a question mark to answer over the ground, so I'm quite happy to leave him alone at the top of the market. I thought Desert Encounter really caught the eye at Sandown last time in the Gordon Richard Stakes behind Walkinock. I think that horse is going to be pretty useful. He's 1 for 3 here, but his other 2 runs, he was only beaten 3/4 of a length and half a length by Pablo Escobar and Second Step, both useful horses in their time. Soft ground doesn't seem to be an issue to this horse anymore. He was noted as a horse that really wanted top of the ground, and a horse that basically, if you sneeze near the course, he was going to be pulled out. But he seems to handle soft ground nowadays in his older years. He ran really well at Windsor last year. Very unlucky not to get off the mark there. He deserves to get his head in front. I think this is a race that is a bit of a drop in class. Basically, is on a platter for him if he really wants to go and get his head in front. Like I say, looks at a Goodwood. I think Stormy Antarctic's probably the danger, but Desert Encounter is the one I'll be signing with.
Yeah, but Desert Encounter, obviously 9 years old now. Perhaps as he's a bit older, he wants a bit more cushioning for his joints. What do you reckon, Andrew?
Yeah, I was going to take him on. I thought he was flattered by that Sandown second. You had to race around the inside at that Sandown meeting on the round course, whether you were leading or sat in mid-division. As long as you were on that rail for as long as possible, you ran well. Second and third in that race, both big prices, including Desert Encounter at 40-1, both flattered, I thought. Desert Encounter is a 9-year-old now. He needs quicker ground. I'd rather back him each way at a huge price in a group race than a short price in a race like this. Al Zarakani, worried about the ground for him. And then you look at the others, you've got Stormy Antarctic, who's on the downgrade at the age of 8, hasn't won for a while, at least not in this country. And the Majestic Dawn, the Cambridgeshire winner, that was a great performance, but he was probably flattered. There was a tailwind. He made the running towards the stand-side rail, which was strongly favoured in the first-time blinkers. He only seems to peak in the autumn, so I'd worry about his fitness first time back. So I keep coming back to Winter Reprise, who was well behind Walt Connigan Desert Encounter at Sandown, but he raced wide throughout that day. That run probably still needed. I thought at 14-1, 20-1, whatever he is for this, he could go well at a big price.
Yeah, for David Venusier, he's the outsider of the little party at 20-1 at the moment. So that's for the 210. So Winter Reprise for Andrew and the Old Boy Desert Encounter for Daryl. That's in that 210. They're the only 2 races we're scheduled to cover. Anything else for either of you at Goodwood?
Daryl, you go.
No, not a tip as such, but just to let you know to keep an eye on the 250 at Goodwood. Alderi and Torlead both go head-to-head in a handicap. Alderi has to give Torlead just over a stone. It's going to be a cracker race. Both horses look potential group class, so definitely worth keeping an eye on that race for future reference.
Okay. We move on to Haydock then, and as with Goodwood, I assume, currently soft ground at Haydock. It's raining at the moment, and I think it's going to continue to do so. So looking for horses who are going to come equipped with snorkels in this 155 by the looks of things. Is there any in here, Andrew?
Yeah, I like this race. There's Theon is a worthy favourite who was second to Boardman on his turf debut here last time out. Previously been impressive in winning twice at Wolverhampton. Lincoln Park did too much too soon, went down the field at Chester last time out. That was the race won by Broken Spear. They went off like the clappers, and I think 3 of the first 4 home came from well off the pace. Rathbone, one of the prominent racers who was 9th in that race, came out and won at Thirsk last week. So although Lincoln Park was only 11th, I would ignore that completely. He'll do better back at Haydock, where he's run well before. But the one I really like is Redarna, who always needs a run or two at the start of the season. This is my nap of the week.
Yeah, this was to be my nap of the day as well.
It can't be now. Choose something else. And
Genuine.
Genuine, honest to God, yeah.
How do we keep doing this?
I wrote up Redarna after that comeback run at Musselburgh, where, basically, every time the headgear goes on for the first time each season, he runs a good race. Last year, first run in the headgear, bang, wins at 28-1. The year before, on his third start, first time they put the cheap pieces on, won at 14-1. So I took a chance at a small bet last time out on his second start, but he was obviously in need of it still. There was no headgear, and he was a massive drifter and never put into the race. So this is it. This is what it's all about. Everything's been geared towards this race, and 20-1, that's a huge price. Should be less than half that.
Yeah, dropped in again in grade. Obviously, just dropped down to under 90 now, hasn't he? 89. So do I need to ask your selection, Daryl?
Yeah, but I absolutely agree. I cannot believe this is the rank outside of the field. I really can't. Came out of Musselburgh, forced wide down the home straight, was always going to be in need of the run that day. Goes here to Haydock over a mile in a very, very hot race, won by Finer Sound. Was just about to start making his move, and Amazemont comes and hems him right in. You saw the horse go to change his legs to quicken up. With the field. After he could not get out, James Sullivan just rode him hands and heels all the way to the finish. Cheek Pieces go back on, 2 for 2 in Cheek Pieces. Ended last season at Ayr with a career best win off a mark of 88, recording an RPR of 97. Did it in ready fashion, over 7 furlongs. That was on good ground. But he is 2 for 2 on soft ground as well. And I just thought that this horse had a little bit more to come yet. I don't think we've reached the bottom of him. Over 7 furlongs. 7 furlongs, soft ground, Haydock, Cheek Pieces on, down in grade. off a £1 higher mark than his last winning mark, and he's won off this mark of 89. God, 20-1. Eat your heart out.
Well, there we go then. Big selections in there. I quite like Linkin Park, so that would have been my selection that Andrew's given it a strong mention to. But they're all,
there's your forecast.
Yeah, they're all good prices. I think Linkin Park currently, as always at the time of recording, is about 9-1, I think. And Redarna, as Daryl just highlighted there, is the outsider of the entire field at the moment. 20-1.
Chuck Mole's memory in there for a tri-cast as well. Loves soft ground.
Yeah.
Caught the eye last couple of times.
Yeah, now you're just being greedy.
Yeah, we can't be that good. No, so that's an interesting race then, that 155 at Haydock, and fairly strong fancies in there. We've next up got a competitive long distance handicap at 225. Any strong fancies in this? Andrew, do you want to start?
Yeah, interesting race, this one. I want it to be against Frank and Stella. I just thought the effect of the headgear might be wearing off. And when they put blinkers on this one, second and first for the first two starts, cheek pieces, first two runs in the cheek pieces, first and first. So, yeah. But third or subsequent starts in the headgear, a third and 2 fourth places. So I think we might see this one in a visor soon to see if that can revitalise him. Future investments, probably a Chester expert. He's 2 from 3 there. And just 1 from 9 elsewhere. And that win was when scraping home by a short head, when favourite for a ripping novice. So I'm not sure Haydock will suit. Vindolanda was quite interesting for Charles Hills, although the yard's gone a little bit quiet after a good start to the turf campaign. Yeah. Just Hubert probably needs his first few runs each season, so I thought he was going to need this. Postilio is fair enough at the head of the market, having done best of the hold-up horses when second in the Chester Cup consolation race. And then the one I quite like is Rajinsky at a price. Fields of 11 or fewer runners, no headgear, 6 runs, 3 wins, a second, third and a fourth. So yeah, Rajinsky each way for me.
Daryl did a big sigh then, so he obviously likes Rajinsky as well. The thing is, we shouldn't be too surprised, should we? Because you guys work off a lot of the same statistics. So if you didn't ever end up on the same one, it would be a bit worrying. So you also like Rajinsky then?
Yes, I think his form is by far the strongest on offer. If you go back to the York run, if you go back to the York run last year in the Sky Bet handicap behind Summer Moon, I mean that run looks extremely strong now. Summer Moon is £8 higher, finished second in the Cesarewitch next time out, while Rajinsky is £1 lower. Third, Mikawi is £8 higher. The fifth is £5 higher, and the sixth one next time out. I thought that was a real strong race. And then he went to here at Haydock in the Old Borough Cup, got absolutely no run at all, finished on the bridle, and was only a shade behind Future Investment, but granted a clear run. I have no doubt at all that Rajinsky would have gone past Future Investment quite comfortably. His runs over 2 miles have been, very eye-catching. Forgive the run at Newmarket in the Cesarewitch, 33rd, 34. He just doesn't like that place at all. Needed the run at Wolves next time out, and then got his head in front in a race that turned into a bit of a sprint at Ripon last time. He's off a mark of 90. Like I say, a pound lower than when chasing home Summer Moon, subsequent Cesarewitch second next time out of York. He goes on soft ground, no problem at all. I think he's well handicapped. I think he's got the strongest form in the race. I'm just surprised that Richard Kingscote goes over to Goodwood, but they have at least gone to the effort to book Adam Kirby for the ride. Now, I'm not a massive Adam Kirby fan, I'll be honest, but at least they've gone to the effort to bring an outside jockey in. If Jane Elliott was on, no offence to Jane Elliott, but I would be a little bit concerned about how they think his chances are going to be.
Yeah. Okay. Andrew, did you mention Green Book?
No, I didn't, but one of several pace angles in the race, I guess, and won that Chester Cup consolation race from the front under Franny.
Yeah, interesting. I thought Green Book was relatively interesting, but as you say, it's a difficult competitive race there. But both of them with a horse who currently is about 10-1, so another race with hopefully real value to be had. Haydock's 3 o'clock is the Silver Bowl handicap. I really like the look of the unexposed Headingley in here. Didn't help himself when hanging his chance away, I thought, last time out. Hopefully, a horse who's unexposed and another run under his belt. Also, you see with horses, and I've forgotten his name now, the horse that I like in the purple and white colours, who's an absolute rogue that's always too keen, and it won when I tipped it at Wolverhampton. What's it called?
Red Rum.
No. Oh, my goodness.
Seabiscuit.
Ryan Moore won on it at Wolverhampton. What's it called recently? Oh, and it's a monkey. I've forgotten. Anyway, my point was this horse hung in the closing stages. Ben obviously will know it did that last time, so hopefully he'll keep an eye on that and hopefully be able to stop that happening again. So Headingley is going to be my selection in the 3 o'clock when Softie's stand, which we've not got time for. Daryl, do you want to start us with the 3 o'clock?
Yeah, Headingley threw my money away last time. I could never forgive him for that now. He's obviously quite capable off of this sort of marker. But Nebulosa is the horse I quite like her quite a bit for this. Showed a really good attitude to get ahead in front at Goodwood on seasonal return last time, despite being green and very keen early on. She had tons left to run down that winner who skipped away from her, another unexposed horse. I think she looks all about stamina, needed every yard of the 7 furlong trip that she's been running over. She's progressing at a rate of knots, including on soft ground. Her finals, she chased home Saffron Beach last year in a maiden race at Newmarket, closed on her all the way to the line, right? And then she went out next time at Newmarket on soft ground, and she won very, very easily. On the same card was the Oh So Sharp Stakes, won by Saffron Beach. Now, the times were bang on, pretty much exactly the same. And if Saffron Beach and Nebulosa were to meet today under these conditions, Saffron Beach would have to give her 23 pounds in weight. I just think that run at Goodwood, first time up, she's going to take a step forward from that. The step up in trip is in her favour. Soft ground is no question mark. I think she's well handicapped off 86. And I think she's going to have a big season for Andrew Baldwin. So Nebulosa is the one I'm quite keen on. I was quite keen to take this favourite on, this Rhoda Ball. He's been well positioned the last twice in very slowly run races. And although he visually looks the part, I'm just concerned about him. If he got caught in behind, would he be quick enough to pick up the likes of Nebulosa, etc.? But it's a good race. But I think each way, around 8-1 Nebulosa, I think it's got a great chance.
Okay. Mum's Tipple, I found out, was the horse I was thinking of. That's a rogue and that hangs and is naughty. So that's good. It's put my mind at ease now. Andrew, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Headingley as well. Like I say, second by a head on debut, and then wins left-handed on a straight course, and then last time out just completely failed to go right-handed at Goodwood. And Mark Johnson's won this twice in recent years. I'm just going to side with Heights of Abraham, though, who bolted up at Ripon the other day when I napped him. That was 10 furlongs on soft ground. Coming back in trip won't inconvenience. I think it's the ground that's more important than the trip. He was winning over 7 furlongs at Musselburgh on soft ground as recently as last August. And he can run well here under a penalty. Interesting stat about this one. In the last 20 years, 17 of the 20 winners were in the first 3 in the betting. So although we had a 20-1 winner trained by John Gosden when this was last run, generally speaking, the market gets it right.
So you and Andrew could be right because yours is second and third in the betting, and now you and Daryl and I'll be wrong. So Nebulosa is about 9s at the moment. Heights of Abraham is about 10s, and Headingley for me is about 11s. We can't always agree, guys. We're doing our best. For that 3 o'clock, the next at Haydock is the 3:35, and I thought this didn't look like a bad race. To be fair, it's quite open as well. This Sandy Lane Stakes, and we've got Dragon Symbol in here, who's currently unbeaten. I thought Rohaan was really good last time in that Pavilion Stakes, beat St Lawrence, who's currently a little bit shorter in the betting. So I thought that was something to consider. Daryl, do you want to start us?
Yeah, really good race this. Dragon Symbol, not sure if the ground's going to be in that one's favour. Obviously, progressing at a rate of knots, got a King Stand entry, looks the part. I'm just not sure about the ground, really. Thought Isabella Giles dropping back in trip was the right thing to do. This horse just doesn't want 7 furlongs or a mile. I think soft ground 6 would definitely suit. So she's got a few things in her favour. Mujabar, if this horse is quick enough for this race, I'll be very surprised because his time of his run at Newmarket was slower than the Blue Skyline, who won off 69 last season, and he just doesn't look a speed horse to me. He does want soft ground, though. Method is the one I'm going for. I'm going to stick with. I thought this was just an outstanding horse last season as a 2-year-old. Demolished Fev Rover, who obviously goes on to run well in the Guineas this year. Beat Mighty Gurkha, very easily. Then at Newmarket, you can forgive the run at Newmarket when beaten in the Group 1 Middle Park because Saddle slipped forward. Just had absolutely no chance there. And then they dropped him back to 5 furlong soft ground behind Winter Power, who's obviously come out and proved herself to be a very smart horse at York recently. but that trip was just far too short. Definitely a 6 furlong horse, and will get further in the future for me. So soft ground might be an issue, and the right trip. Obviously, you need to take it on trust fitness because he's returning from a 225-day layoff. But this race normally produces a horse that's going to go on to do decent things at the sprint level, like your Royal Ascots, etc., like that. So I just thought there was more to come from this method. And I think he's quite a nice type. So that was where my money was going.
Okay, a few you like, but the actual bet in the race is going to be Method, who's currently about 8-1. Andrew?
Yeah, this race has been incredibly strong in recent years and should have a strong bearing on Royal Ascot. We had Hello Youmzaim 2 years ago, who went on to win the Sprint Cup back at Haydock, then won the Diamond Jubilee the following year. Sands of Mali, second in the Commonwealth Cup, then a Group 1 winner. Harry Angel won it in 2017, again, second in the Commonwealth Cup, went on to win the July Cup and the Sprint Cup, both Grade 1 contests. So I was quite interested in Kulthum here for Richard Fahey. That comeback run would have been needed. 4 runs at this 6 furlong trip, 2 wins and 2 thirds, both third places excusable. She was poorly drawn in York in the first of them, and then she was up against a pace bias at Newmarket, doing best of those to come from the back. So, having failed to stay 7 and probably in need of the run on her comeback, coming back to 6, like quite a few winners of this race have done previously, I think she's a good bet here.
Yeah, I think.
I hope not.
Why?
Because I already fancied her, didn't I? No, I really fancied her, didn't I, at Newbury the other week. And I thought for sure she wanted to go up and trip, but I could be completely wrong.
We're doing it on purpose. We're tipping horses that you liked previously or let you down previously. So either you'll be happy or we will. Works perfectly well. Neither of you mentioned Rohaan. Why don't we like Rohaan, Andrew?
Just Ascot form coming to Haydock. I was worried about that. And I thought he might have been a shade flattered last time because that Ascot meeting, every winner on the straight track was coming towards the near side. That was when This Is Us won at 66-1. Again, challenged late towards the near side rail. The Bridger horse, Pettick side, again, challenged near the rail. That's why the one Daryl mentioned earlier was Al-Dahi, who was running at Goodwood. That was really impressive, having won on the slowest part of the track. So I think probably a shade flattered that day by the way the track was riding. Okay,
I'm going to go against you. I thought it won despite having absolutely 0 runs. So Rohaan for me, who is about 9-1, I think, just checking. Method for Daryl, that's about 8-1. And Andrew, Kulthum, yeah?
Yep.
At 12-1. So that's in the 335. At Haydock, the full 10 at Haydock, the last one there we're going to do is the Temple Stakes. So John Quinn, obviously super strong hand in this now with no Batash in there. Saw an article this morning. He said he'd take a dead hit. I'm pretty sure he'd be very, very lucky if he managed to get that. But that's what you have if you run 2 in there. Daryl, do you want to start?
No real strong opinion. I thought Liberty Beach would just edge it, given her record fresh first time up. I'm actually surprised they haven't learned from last year and just gone straight to the King's Stand first time out, to be honest. She's got a fantastic record first time up. Strongest form in the race was that Abbey third on heavy ground last season. So you can't get a beat by the ground. You can't get a beat by the form. I thought the biggest danger was John Quinn's other runner, Keep Busy. And I thought it was as simple as that, to be honest. I didn't really want to get involved in terms of betting.
Yeah. Andrew?
Interesting race this. I mean, they keep entering Liberty Beach and Keep Busy in the same races, but not running. We finally get to see both of them here. So both ran well in the Prix de l'Abbé last time, and neither had brilliant draws that day. But it's interesting that Liberty Beach runs here again. I did throw a few quid at her when she reappeared at York over 6, despite having not proven her stamina for that trip. She was a massive drifter in the betting that day. Looked as though she needed the run badly. And with Carl Burke's horses running better now, and this month, any of his horses have had a recent run showing a good profit. So it's interesting to see Lady in France out again so quickly. She also ran in the Prix de l'Abbé. She split the Quinn pair, Liberty Beach and Keep Busy, and she wasn't best drawn either. Even though there was only, I think, 10 runners in that race, it was a big advantage to be drawn low. She was in stall 8. So I think Lady in France is going to run a storming race here. Kea Moro is one to keep in mind for York later in the season. 4 of her 5 wins have come in July and August. She loves York. I just think she's going to need this run. But Over the years, fillies and mares have done well in this race, and I think it's going to go to one of the females.
Okay, good assessment then of the 4:10. Anything else for either of you at Haydock, Andrew?
Sternific in the 3:15, perhaps. This is a horse who's always gone well, best off a strong pace. Did manage to win in a couple of small field Beverley races last year when they went like the absolute clappers, and the track was favouring those who came late and wide down the middle. But generally speaking, when this one gets a field of sort of 12, 13 or more runners, runs a good race. Sternific at a price.
Okay, Daryl?
Where's Sternific running, Andrew?
3.
Because I've got him in my tracker. And I'm what?
Sorry, it might be York actually. 3:15. I think I've jumped the gun there.
It's all right.
And,
No.
Gone to York. So yeah, 3:15 somewhere.
Let's have a look.
He's well.
Yeah.
Sorry, just one Haydock in a 4:45. William Haggis's Cloudy Dawn should be well ahead of a mark of 80 on a handicap debut. I'm not entirely sure what the price is going to be. It's probably going to be short, to be honest, but should have no problem with the ground trip. The mark is very lenient, I think, 80. So Cloudy Dawn.
Okay. On to York then we go. The 2:40. We got the Bronte Cup for fillies. We've got Ray Dawson. I'm pretty sure he hasn't ridden a group winner yet, so he rides the favourite in there at the moment, so that's good for him. And I was seeing that Jessie Harrington has never had a winner at York. I don't think she's actually had that many runners, that kind of double figures, and she's not had a winner yet, so she'll be looking to hopefully change that. Andrew, do you want to start in the 2:40?
Yeah, didn't really have a strong opinion. I thought the favourite looked solid enough. I thought Inchicore might have been flattered by that Lingfield win from off the pace last time out. I wanted it to be against her, but yeah, other than that, nothing to report really.
Daryl?
Very much the same as Andrew on this race. I can't stand it. But
if you don't like anything, that's fine.
Yeah, to be honest, I went through it, and the only thing I probably thought when I went through the race was that the Harrington runner was probably a little bit overpriced because of a heavy defeat to Joseph's Mighty Blue last time. 69 length defeat is definitely not her running, and the market sort of reacted in a way that it is, and that in terms of the difference between the price between the two. So perhaps have a look at that if you want to get into the race, but it's not one for me to get seriously involved with.
Okay, the 3:50 at York, competitive handicap. We've got the current favourite is Mondamege, who I happen to personally know has got a fair few screws missing. I've been at Newcastle. I was at Newcastle when this horse won on debut. He's absolutely massive, as in he's a really big horse. It was a big price. I don't think a great deal was expected. They picked him up really cheaply. He cost a lot of money. As a youngster, I just think he's tricky, but I'm sure he's got ability. And he takes on the 2017 winner of this racing, Copper Knight, Andrew.
Yeah, and the pair met over course and distance last time out. Copper Knight winning, Mulzim second, who's also in here, and of course Mondamege unlucky in running in third. But yeah, Mondamege, that hold-up style at York, he can miss the break. He's talented, but incredibly quirky, as you say. Yeah. And at 4-1, he could go and win at that price, and I'd quite happily leave him alone. But he could just as easily be the hard luck story of the race again. So Copper Knight, I thought could go well again, but it's still 2 might be a little bit lower than ideal. Zargan, who ran a huge race here for Scott Dixon the other day.
Is that the German horse?
Yeah, that's right. 80-1, I think, was the SB, or 120, 125.
You wouldn't
maybe.
Believe me that I backed it each way, would you? But I'll show you the betting slip.
I'll believe you, Leonna.
Yeah.
I'll believe you. Mackinac was interesting as well. Second time out, having been drawn out of it when behind Jabberwocky at Chester last time. Sun and Sunny was sort of 2-3 and keen in a small field last time at Doncaster, and that one might go well for Paul Midgley, who's starting to have winners now. But I'm going to take a chance on Dave Dexter, probably a big price here. Second run for Roger Fell. Ran behind Copper Knight, Mondamege and Co here last time out, but was basically drawn on the wrong side of the track. All the action was centre to far side, and all those drawn high finished out the back of the telly. So forgive that one from Dave Dexter. If you back all horses who joined Roger Fell from other yards, second time out you make a profit, and he could go well at big odds here. 33-1,
yeah. Dave Dexter used to be with Ralph Beckett, and the last time that horse won was on very soft ground. At Chepstow, so that's a definitely positive. 33-1, Dave Dexter then for Andrew. Daryl?
No, again, no, that's me. I struggle with this race, to be honest with you, and I'm struggling this season with like a big 5 furlong, 6 furlong handicaps, to be honest, because it's sort of a whose turn is it next to win, and it can be quite frustrating.
If you run the race 5 times, you get a different result every time, which is then irritating.
Yeah, exactly that. I think that one of the most interesting runners in this race is Hurricane Ivor for William Haggis, who just looked an absolute superstar at one point when racing in France, and has come over to William Haggis, and I'm just very intrigued to see how he gets on. But Count D'Orsay were better than the bear result last time. There's so many horses in here that you can sort of make cases for, and we're talking a matter of 3/4 of a length or half a length a difference with a lot of them. So I'm trying to wean myself off these handicaps, if you like. But Hurricane Ivor, keep an eye on him and see how he gets on. I'm sure he's a good horse.
Okay, that's one to watch then. Hurricane Ivor, first run for Willie Haggis, and Andrew with Dave Dexter 33-1, big price then. In that one, anything else at York other than Andrew's earlier Stonific in the 315? Daryl, do you like anything else?
Yeah, I do. I do. I do like Stonific, and I do think he's well handicapped. I do, but I do really think Live Your Dream is miles ahead of a mark of 82 in that 315. He's a pure stayer. He really is. He took a massive step forward on anything that he had done at Newcastle last time. When getting up by a neck. It was a very, very falsely run race, really slowly run race. He was keen early on. He wasn't in the best of positions. He came down the outside of the track, the unfavoured part of the track, and he still got up to win by a neck. That was off the back of a 500 odd day break and the gelding operation. He's definitely going to take a step forward. You've got to consider the bounce factor a little bit here. 22 days after that run, but from that race, the other horse that was inconvenienced by their racing position in that slowly run race was Master of the Stars, who came out and won next time out in controversial fashion over Good Birthday at Newmarket. I definitely think he's got more to come. 82, is a very low mark. He's only been given a £2 rise for that Newcastle run, and he was much better than a £2 rise there. So I think Live Your Dream will take all the beating in the 315.
Yeah, well, they're opposite ends of the market. So Live Your Dreams is about 9-2. That's what I've got at the moment. So you could do a forecast, or you could take one or the other. And Stonific is 16-1. Again, that's what I've got at the moment. So both not short prices anyway. So that's interesting. Yeah, exactly. The last race for Saturday's racing is the Irish 2000 Guineas. We weren't going to not do that. 320. I like Barrosa in this. I thought was super unlucky last time in that Craven Stakes. So Barrosa is what I like in the 320. Andrew?
I'm going to go for Max Swiney here, despite that disappointing comeback run. Stepped up to 10 furlongs at Leopardstown, finishing fourth. Now, Max Swiney's got a touch of the Oxos about him. Good run, bad run, good run, bad run. Every time he's been beaten, he's bounced back to win next time, 3 from 3. The last time he ran at Leopardstown, he finished 9th of 10 in a Group 3. And next time out, he won a Group 2 at the Curragh. So he's doing that again. He's making the switch from Leopardstown to the Curragh. He won second time out last season. He's never lost following a defeat. And I thought at a double figure price, he was worth chancing it.
Daryl?
This is tricky. This is very tricky. I really like Lucky Vega at the top of the market. However, Jessica Harrington has said that she wants the rain to stay away. And I've been looking at reports and they're just suggesting that, it's going to come down. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Lucky Vega weak in the market. I do, again, though, I think the market, sometimes these markets take a last run so literally. So, like, the likes of Wembley and Battleground both disappointed at Newmarket. Battleground went off at 9-2, heavily supported favourite for the 2000 Guineas. He's 8-1 here. But if you go back and watch that run, he did. The connections reported that he lost his action a bit. And if you watch him on that real firm ground at Newmarket on that undulating track, he just couldn't. He did lose his action. He just couldn't get it all together. A little bit less of an excuse for Wembley, I guess. I suppose you could say that the quicker ground didn't help. He likes a bit of cut in the ground, so that could probably benefit him here. Ryan Moore has chosen to ride Wembley. I do think this is a talented horse. Stall 11's probably not going to be ideal. Battleground's in stall 10. I thought Barrosa would not want it to be soft. I thought he's got that low swing and action, and I thought Barrosa would prefer a quicker surface. I'm going to give Wembley another shout. And hopefully he can do the business. I'm sure he's talented. I know he keeps bumping into horses and you keep finding excuses for him. I know it's frustrating, but if he puts it all together, he's a good horse, that's for sure.
Okay. So Wembley for Daryl, Max Swiney for Andrew, and Barrosa for me. That's in the Irish 2,000 guineas. And that's 320. At the Curragh. That's it for Saturday. We're going to cover a couple of quick races Sunday. We've got the 240 at the Curragh, which is the Tattersalls Gold Cup. If neither of you've got a fancy yet, that's fine. Or if you've got any information or pointers, that's good as well. Andrew, do you want to go first?
That's my get out of jail free card that I'm playing here. So no strong opinion here. Wouldn't want to just to have a complete wild guess and help someone lose their money.
Okay, Daryl.
I'll do that then.
Go on then.
No, look, a lot of this depends on whether Love turns up, doesn't it? She's gonna essentially make the market. So it's very difficult at this stage to give a strong mention to anyone. I would keep an eye on Cayenne Pepper just to see what turns up and what doesn't. I think that's quite a talented horse for Jessica Harrington, but no strong opinion. It's all going to evolve around whether Love turns up here.
Yeah, because
she's
if
undoubtedly
Love's
going
out,
to be.
then it's absolutely wide open.
Yeah, exactly. And if she's in, she's what odds do you make her, Andrew? If Love turns up here?
She's 6-4 now, but
she's
pretty much shorter than that.
Yeah.
I guess so. No great opinion then. Obviously, it is early stages as well for us to cover these. And then the 315 at the Curragh. We'll cover that quickly as well if either of you've got a fancy in the Irish 1,000 guineas. Andrew?
I like Fantasy Lady here at a big price. Paddy Toomey is an excellent trainer, and this one has just been crying out for a stiffer test of stamina than she's had recently. It was good ground last time out when she was being in Leopardstown. I know that was only a Group 3, but I think that the faster they go, the better for her. So stepping up in grade on her preferred soft surface, hopefully, then I think she's going to run a good race at a big price here.
Yeah. Currently, I've got 25s, but obviously, who knows? Come next time. Daryl?
Again, I do apologise. No real opinion. I thought Shale was the value in the market at the moment, around 6s, in comparison to Pretty Gorgeous. But I can't give you anything until I know a final make-up and a draw, to be honest.
Okay. That's it then for the scheduled races. Have any of you got anything from anywhere else, if that isn't enough?
Constant, please, Carol.
Daryl?
Can we do my nap first this week?
Let's talk about naps. Daryl, would you like to go first?
Yeah, Redarna.
Redarna.
We can both nap it, Andrew.
Well, you'll have to, won't you, if you both like
Super.
it?
Yeah, Redarna for me as well, predictably, and seeing at the time of recording, he's available at 20 to 1. I'm not going to begrudge Daryl stealing my work.
Okay. My nap, I'm glad that those two have given you a 20 to 1 shot this week, because I haven't got one. Mine's probably going to be favourite as well. Ajyaall at York for the 205. He's won a couple of races already. I think he's a much better horse than what we've seen so far. I think he's got plenty more wiggle room off about a mark of 90, and hopefully he'll go and win that impressively, and then we'll see him in something much better next time. Maybe the Hunt Cup or something, a lot more unexposed than everybody else. So Ajyaall in the 205 at York is mine. As we said, with those races Sunday, the guys will have a view on those closer to the time. I'm sure a much stronger view as well when we know what is actually going and what prices they're forecast at. They both put it on their own social media channels. So Andrew Mount is Trend Horses and Daryl Carter is just that, Daryl Carter. They also will be on GG, of course, on GG's page and on their website. The website is GG.CO.UK. We have all the race cards, plenty of other tips and videos as well. So do check out the website. I hope you've enjoyed the video this week. We've gone as quick as we can to get all those races in for you. And fingers crossed we can provide you with plenty more winners like last week. Thanks for watching.